Hello and welcome to New York Sofalites. I am joined today by Stephanie and Gretchen. We are here to give you our serious opinions on unserious topics and some serious topics. Sofalites, it's tax season. Let's get into it. Enjoy the show.
So last year, my tax situation, it was so close to the wedding. I was losing my mind and I was like, I'm just going to get this through because I need a return. I need money for the wedding. And I don't think I ever did like a sanity check. And 2022, yeah, that year was the year that I moved from PA to New Jersey. But somehow I didn't like file a New Jersey return.
Do you have to do both if you move?
I don't
No,
know.
it's whatever state you live in more than half the year.
Oh,
That's really,
okay.
yeah.
That's good to know. And then my husband's like, well, why didn't you file one in New Jersey last year? And I'm like, I don't know. Like, I was
You're
losing my
not gonna
mind.
tell him to relax. You're not gonna go to jail, but have him call his
He's
accountant.
entered like every single account that like has paid him like 5 cents in dividends and stuff.
That's not
And I'm
necessary.
No.
like,
In dividends,
No.
what
or
are,
in,
does he
in
have?
interest. I mean, in interest. I didn't mean
No,
dividends. I meant
they will not
interest.
care.
And I was like,
And he just doesn't want to get deported, probably.
he's a
He's a
citizen.
citizen.
Oh, yeah.
But you know what? It is Trump times. So
It is
never
Trump
mind.
era. Yeah.
No, I don't want to
Yeah.
get deported either.
I don't want to, none
No.
of us want to get deported.
I
but
know
we
in my
might.
head I was like, what are they gonna do? Deport me? And then I was like, wait,
You never
Yeah.
I don't know
know.
where they'd deport me to, but they'd find
It
a
might-
place.
Honestly, it might be nice. It might be okay.
Yeah, like,
depending
thank
on where
you.
Might be
get
like a
deported.
vacation.
Do deport me.
Deport
But yeah,
me
tell him to
to
call
Bermuda.
the accountant for the sake of your sanity and your marriage, I think.
Who just like waltzes into a relationship 3 years ago and is like,
No.
you don't need an accountant. You can do this all on your own.
I like that you
And
were
then,
like,
like-
you can do it on your own. Not like, you don't need an accountant. I will do it for you. You were just,
Yeah.
you just started cutting stuff from his list of expenses.
Yeah,
It's like, you don't need to spend that money. It's like,
it's probably the best money you would spend. I don't
And
have
it's
an
not a
accountant.
lot of money.
Yeah, and I don't have an accountant, and I really would love one, and I'm very disappointed. So
yeah, this morning when I woke up at like 8 o'clock, he was like, if you don't have your tax information to me by noon, I'm just like not dealing with this and I'm not filing
What?
jointly. And I was like,
My God. It is.
well, it's not going to be
February.
to you by noon.
What is he talking about? It's not due till April 15th.
You know
He
that
doesn't
it's
care.
by noon.
He doesn't care.
You're
He has a
literally
deadline.
Oh my God.
And it's hilarious because like this isn't like usually like how we interact, but like suddenly he's like, I need it by noon or I'm done with this. I'm like done filing jointly.
He
Oh my
said, I
God.
am getting this done this weekend and I'm never going to think about it again. But then,
Yeah, it's been like the main point of contention since we got married is taxes.
wow.
How is that possible? It's not only just it's like barely tax season. You got married like a year ago.
Yeah, like
Less
you
than a year though.
just
How's that
missed
feel?
tax season last
Yeah.
year.
Yeah.
I
How is
know.
that possible? That it's
I know. And last year he was like, well, the year before that, I had
Was
filed
he
for an
like, are you saving
extension.
all of these wedding receipts for our tax filing?
No, but what happened was the year before, like I didn't get off on like the strongest foot with this because the year before I filed for an extension and then forgot about it. So we were like living in
Oh, no,
in Zurich and he's like on sabbatical, like we're there and like one night I'm like, oh my God, it's September. I think I need to like finish my taxes. And he's like, you didn't already submit them? Oh my God. And I was like, no, I like asked for an extension. Like things were crazy that year. And then he was just like, I can't believe like you've made it this far in life. And I'm like, it's just an extension. Like it's
Oh
not
my
that big of a deal.
God.
No, he didn't say it like that. But like that was sort
I
of
can't
like
believe you made it this far.
the implication with his eyes. He's just like,
Jesus.
how'd you make it? Like,
Oh my
and
God.
I'm like, I don't
Oh
know.
my God.
That
But I
is
Also,
did.
it's fine. There's a reason there are extensions. And I did file my taxes last year. I requested an extension and have not done them. So, whoops.
Well, I did that in 2022, and then
I
I
remember. Yeah.
I
You have
had
to
to
file
file.
these taxes.
I know. I
I did
requested an
them.
extension and I gave them money as
Well,
like a
then,
holdover.
well, how long is the extension? Or can you just file do a double this year?
No, I'm gonna do a double this year.
Hey, that you can do
Yeah.
that?
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
So like,
They'll
I
give
mean,
you
So
some small penalty, but like
I'll get a penalty, but they're not gonna care.
it's
If I
not
were
that
like a
big of a deal.
billionaire, they might care,
no, if
but
you were a
they don't.
billionaire, they
Yeah.
definitely wouldn't care.
Yeah, if they were a millionaire, they might
They
care.
would be like, take your
Um,
time. Our bad. You just tell
yeah.
us what you need.
Just calm down. It's gonna
If
be
I was a
fine.
millionaire or made more money, they might care. But I had the problem was I didn't know what to do because like my official address was still New York, but I was in California. And I'm like, well, I've been in California, so is that what I do? And then I was gonna hire an accountant, but I couldn't afford it, so I had to wait, and then I never hired an accountant. So
I feel like you could Google this question about where to file. I think you have to file where your address is.
I think so too, but I just wanted to
If
do it
anyone
right.
listening works for the IRS,
Don't.
nysofalites@gmail.com, please
No,
help.
I had a really hard year last year. We all had hard years last year, I know. But like I um I'm just gonna file double this year. I'm gonna get a penalty. I know I will. It's okay.
It's
I
The
that's
fucked up.
first
fair.
year I did that, a little bit of trivia about me. I didn't do it again until 2020, but the first year that I didn't just like file my taxes was the year.
Rachel's like, what is going on?
Oh, it's giving me so much agita.
What happened or why, but the year before I bought my house in New York, I don't know why, but I just like didn't file them. And then when I went to go buy the house, like I needed my tax return. So I just like to my computer and like really quickly put it in TurboTax and stuff. And like 3 weeks later, I got an envelope from the IRS with like a really nice tax return. And then I had my
Oh.
whole like PDF and I was like good for buying the house, but I was like, shit.
So maybe the
Yeah.
reason that your husband is so upset is because this is a pattern of behavior.
Well, okay. And I will say this is the first time I've done this. I've always filed. But yes, I do remember when this is a problem, and I know it's a problem. I need to fix it. But look,
Oh, I thought you were talking about me. I was
no,
like,
me. No, but
you
you
speak
too.
for yourself.
No, no, but I do remember one year. I do remember in Stephanie's defense. I remember one year our mom was like, "Oh, I'll help. I can do it.
Yeah.
I'll get you the highest deductions ever." And then she
Oh.
never did.
That has happened.
Always file with an accountant.
Yeah, now I know.
Well, at least I didn't tell him to get rid of the cleaners.
Oh my God. Can you imagine?
That would have like literally like
He would never
that
have
would
been
have really
like,
affected my life.
yes, I will clean the house. Because
No, never.
everyone is like, well, yes, I could probably do my taxes. Nobody is like, yes, I can clean my house if they have already
Yeah.
made the decision that they're not doing that.
Yeah, no.
No.
Oh, speaking of hiring out, speaking of hiring out jobs, I think if I keep my doggy, I'm gonna have to hire someone to walk her like
Aw.
two
Yeah.
or three times a week at least. Well, if I keep her, because I'm so tired, you guys. I've been studying. I've been walking 2 hours a day.
That
Oh my
sounds
she
God.
never-
That's
amazing.
great
Well,
exercise.
I know, but like my legs hurt, and it's been a long time, and I have to work like 11 hours and then study and like walk her
Oh
for 2
God.
hours.
Why do you
and
have to
I'm
work 11
Why
hours?
are you working 11
I'm
hours?
over allocated right now. So
I just heard
Who can
Jane
you
Fonda
talk
give
to
a
about
really
that?
rousing speech about
oh,
workers' rights on the SAG Awards, and I feel like you should tap her in and let
all
her
right.
speak to your people because
I might
Yeah.
need to do that.
she seems to know what she's talking about.
So
Yes.
that's yeah. But anyways, so
Anyway, we should.
back to I
should
I
get
can
into
do I can do a quick bridge over. The actress that was looking into a dog is probably going to adopt a different dog who was a very sweet older puppy, and she apparently was
Aw.
very she was very self-aware that she was not good at discipline and not good in her, and she has a feral 3-year-old child apparently. So, they needed someone that was going to be very calm and didn't need training. So yeah, so that was a
Aw.
nice. I thought that was she did a very good job. I thought of being self-aware. So
Oh, that's
Oh.
congrats to
lovely.
her. Yeah, yeah,
Congrats to her. I
yeah,
think she made a really, really
yeah.
good decision because I also have a feral 3-year-old child and a feral 2-year-old dog. So
Yeah, so you
it,
gotta get one of them has to get older automatically without you
yeah,
trying and be trained. Yeah.
yeah, and none
So
of that is happening. So good for that person for adopting the already trained older dog.
Yeah,
yeah.
very
No.
wise, very wise.
So
Yeah.
wise. God, she seems
Yeah.
so wise.
Yeah, doesn't she?
Anyway, we have a lot to get to today, actually.
Yes.
So a few things in the news that actually connect to stuff that we were talking about on our last episode that I want to hit on before we get into like the main crux of what we're talking about today, which is that Netflix, in a press conference with like the president of Mexico, has pledged to spend $1 billion in Mexico on production, just
Yes.
like, which is great. Do we feel like this is any kind of like a last minute Hail Mary? Like,
Interesting.
is this like a mea culpa for Amelia Perez? Like, you know, trying to make things right, but also trying to show the public that they're trying to make things right.
I don't know, maybe, but I thought it was more like a punch at Amelia Perez, wasn't it?
Well, they made Amelia Perez, so
The Mexican president?
no,
I'm
Netflix.
confused. Oh, oh,
Netflix.
oh, oh, oh,
Oh.
oh, 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 I was confused. Okay. Maybe, but I didn't really think it was, I mean, my mind did not immediately go to, oh, they're trying to fix, I thought more like they're trying to fix their, just a PR thing, but maybe I didn't think it was necessarily for the Oscars, because I think at this point that ship has sailed. I don't know.
Right. I think I didn't know exactly when the announcement came out. It was really close, but I read it after voting had closed. I don't know when exactly that press conference was,
Okay. Yeah.
but
I,
a nice thing for them to be doing.
yeah, it is nice.
Yeah.
It is a lot of money, like a
It's a
ton of
lot
money.
of money.
Yeah.
Yes.
I read that New Jersey is becoming the Hollywood of the East Coast.
What?
Ah,
Why?
I don't know, because a lot of things are being filmed in New Jersey, apparently. It's a
it's
little
the
cheap. It's
tax
cheaper than New
breaks.
York, and yeah.
Oh, interesting.
Our film tax credits in New York are very, very good, but it is like a whole entire thing. And yeah, New Jersey probably has us beat.
Yeah, there was I can't remember what movie was being filmed here
Is it the Bruce
recently.
Springsteen Asbury Park
Yes.
Yeah,
situation?
Yeah.
yeah, yeah.
Yes.
And
Yes, yes, chef.
yeah, there was, yeah, exactly.
Yes.
That guy was being spotted around
Oh
town
my
and
God. Give him my number?
Absolutely.
Yeah. I wasn't so sure about it. I was like,
Well, no, you're
yeah.
right to have some skepticism. He is kind of a dog.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah, he
it's
does seem
fine.
like a little bit like an F-boy right now. So,
He knows how to buy flowers, though, like a motherfucker.
what? Really?
That guy
When
has
did you
been
hear?
photographed carrying the most flowers of any human being ever
What?
in life. I feel
Oh
like
my
he's like
God.
every weekend he's going to the farmer's market and getting these just like armfuls of like beautiful bouquets
Oh,
of
I
flowers.
love flowers. I'm gonna have to look this
oh, I
up
was
because
thinking, are they like apology flowers for his
I mean,
girlfriend or
maybe.
something?
I
But
think
maybe he
that
just likes flowers.
he's kind of like has like a SpongeBob-esque narrative where like I think that he and his longtime partner had just had a kid and then he like left her for
yes.
someone that was a model.
Oh,
Or
I
because he
didn't
Maybe
know
got
she
that.
left her for
famous
someone
and
else. I thought she left him because of some alcohol problem.
Oh, interesting. I was gonna
Yeah.
say, like, a lot of people are kind of on this level right now. Like Barry Keoghan also, like,
Yeah.
divorced with a small child,
Yeah.
and you know,
That guy in Wicked. Yeah.
SpongeBob.
Oh yeah.
SpongeBob. Oh yeah, that's right. You said SpongeBob.
What
Sorry.
is
Yeah, you
his
said.
name? Ethan Slater, I want to
Well,
say.
his ex-wife wrote a really interesting op-ed or like
Yeah.
essay about her experience, which I thought was really nice,
It
without
was
Yeah.
really
naming anyone.
good
Yeah, it
because
was. It
she's
was.
like a marriage counselor or something.
Yeah,
Yeah, it's really ironic. She's very smart.
yeah.
Yeah.
Anyway,
So yeah. Anyways, all right. So
also just want to shout out the country of Mexico because I learned this week, apropos of this announcement, that Mexico has just elected not only their first woman, but their first Jewish president, and it's the same person.
yes,
And I'm just
yeah,
really proud
That's
of
great.
Mexico, and I would like us
yeah,
to be more like Mexico.
yes.
That's
That
great.
I agree. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Anyway,
We need to all strive to be more like Mexico and stop closing borders.
just stop.
But
Just
yeah,
stop.
yeah, that was my
Anyway,
yeah.
someone who has
Okay.
not taken that advice is the person that our next news story is about, which is we're going to take you listeners to I Told You So Corner and talk about just do a little check-in, a little vibe check on the film The Apprentice, the
Ah,
director of which has recently parted ways with his
yes.
American representation in the wake of a scandal wherein he has been accused of groping
Mm-hmm.
at a party. I believe that he was groping an actor at a party, or he was
Oh.
allegedly groping an actor at a party. And he has parted ways with his American representation. And I feel like we knew that there was something funny going on with that movie.
Mm-hmm.
We maybe were like a little off. We thought it was going to be Sebastian Stan that was creepy.
Yeah,
Turns out it
we
was the
did.
director.
Indeed, we did. Yes.
But also, like, I feel like nobody is surprised that someone who wanted to make a movie about Donald Trump has a little bit of Donald Trump energy,
Yeah,
right?
not surprising.
Like,
Not surprising.
yeah. So,
But still, excuse me, innocent until, proven guilty. So it sounds like
of course.
this guy, maybe he's not proven guilty in a court of law, but where there's smoke, there's fire. That's all
Yeah.
I'll say. Allegedly.
Allegedly. Yeah. No. I feel like I don't know what this crazy movie is even doing in the Oscars race, but like hopefully this is a
I'm
little
a
bit
little
of a
surprised too. Yeah. I
right?
kind of yeah, I kind of feel like this is the passive Hollywood way of being like we don't like Trump instead of like doing actual things, but that could be me. I don't know.
I don't know though, 'cause I didn't see this movie, and I think that maybe a lot of the people that nominated it also didn't see it because
Oh, yeah, I kind of get that sense. Yeah.
like maybe they thought that it was a little more like Vice, but I don't think that it is. I think it's a little bit more kind of like on the level of like Pam and Tommy, where like it's kind of like a morality agnostic, just like biopic
Yeah.
Mm,
and
Yeah.
not a satire.
hmm.
And
Interesting.
yeah.
Not a satire. Oh,
But
I haven't seen it either.
I don't think that I will. I think so. This director is not American, so I think that maybe he just doesn't understand how like triggering making a movie about Donald Trump in 2024 would be.
The wrong time, obviously, but
Yeah.
yeah.
I think Sebastian Stan thought that it would be very provocative. He seems like a
Mm-hmm.
person who would care about that.
Yes,
But
he does. Yeah.
the
Yeah.
whole thing is a no for me.
Yeah. I
Yeah, hard
agree.
pass.
On to some more fun stuff because this past week has been London Fashion Week and it has been the most London of the fashion weeks I think that we've seen
Mm-hmm.
in a while. I know that we talked about when we were talking about like other fashion weeks in a previous episode, we were saying that London has a tendency to be kind of like overly charming. I didn't feel that at all this year. I thought it was really fresh, really different. What did you guys think?
The main thing I'm remembering about it is, I can't remember the designer, but, there was a designer that was having their models, like, walk in and out of, like, really cool scenery, and I think it was snowing and stuff. Who was
Yes,
that
it was
designer?
Richard Quinn, and it was
Oh,
Okay.
beautiful.
I thought
I
that
didn't
was really cool. I really liked that.
I didn't catch that one. I'm gonna have to look it up.
Everything
Very
was
cool.
so theatrical. I thought that they really,
Mm-hmm.
like, a lot of designers leaned into making, like, a big theatrical, like a
Yes.
Taylor Swift concert kind of moment happening. I
Yeah.
loved it.
I agree.
Yeah.
There was a lot of like set design, a lot of scenery, which I appreciated. A lot of thought going into like the place, and yeah, I liked it too. It was really
Yeah.
cool. Yeah.
And the collections I thought were overall kind of more fun than we have
Mm-hmm.
seen from, like, what people are showing for, like, autumn collections in London
Mm-hmm.
Fashion Week. Like, you
Yeah.
know, it can often seem like very Londony. And some of
Mm-hmm.
it was, like, obviously Tom Brown, totally classic. Tom Brown is
Mm-hmm.
killing it.
Mm-hmm. I know.
Like,
I
it's
love
Yeah, I
Tom
feel like
Brown.
Tom Brown is, like, everywhere, and he's doing great.
he's
Like,
Mm-hmm.
seriously having a moment.
Yeah.
very happy for Tom Brown.
Yes, I'm into it. Um,
Bill Nye modeled for him, right?
yes, in the shorts.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
I loved that.
I
Bill Nye.
I
What a
think I
Love it.
treasure.
saw I think I saw in a lot of um collections. Oddly enough, I saw a lot of bubble hems or like bubble skirts. And
Yes.
I wasn't like huge on that. I'm not a big bubble hem girl, but
You
I'm
did wear it to prom, though.
mhm, you're right. That's probably maybe why I'm not that's why I'm not anymore. Um, but I did wear a nice gold greenish gold Nicole Miller mini dress that had a bubble hem and it was like a nice looking brocade. I think I still have it somewhere.
That sounds really
That's
cute.
beautiful. Like, it's a jacquard, like,
Yeah, it was very
fabric.
cute. It was a mini dress, and I feel kind of bad because I was a bitch to my date. He was very sweet, and I was like, I'm not wearing a long dress, and I like made sure that he knew that I wasn't wearing one. I don't know why I like did that, but I was just like, I think I thought he liked me, but he was like a friend. I don't know. So
Did he care? Was he, like, really concerned about the length of the dress?
no, I just feel like I like had to make that clear to him, be like, this isn't that serious or something like that. I don't know. I'm just
You
like a
know it's
weirdo.
serious if you put on the
Yeah.
long dress.
Yeah, yeah. Um,
It's only
I
serious if my dress is
apologized to him
long, and
later.
it's not.
Yeah, and I did apologize to him later. He said that's okay. I said sorry for being a bitch at prom. He said that's okay. Um,
Aw,
so haven't seen him in a while though. So hope he's
it's
doing
okay.
well.
We all have our moments.
Nice Peter. He was so kind and
Oh,
sweet.
best wishes, Peter.
Best wishes, Peter. I'm sure he's doing
And
Cheers,
that's
well.
also the
Peter.
night Gretchen started hating bubble hems. So
Yeah,
Are we anti-bubble
there's
hem
that.
now, though? Like, I
I
feel like
guess.
I'm not. Gretchen is, though.
Well, okay. I don't know what about it. It just feels so twee to me, like very like cutesy.
this is
I
what
don't
you
know
said
why.
about London Fashion Week when we
Yeah,
discussed it before.
yeah, and it that twee like I didn't see that as much with London Fashion Week, but I did like in general. But I did that caught me. I was like, oh, I don't know about the bubble hems, but I obviously a lot of people like them, and I'm just the outlier here. But I did love Simone Rocha. Is that how you say
Oh
her
my
name?
God.
I
I think
loved.
so.
Yeah, I loved, and that's like my vibe, like just straight, sheer. I don't know, but I liked it a lot. That was
I
really
missed
Yeah.
cool.
that.
Yeah.
She had a lot of actors walk along
Mm-hmm.
with some
That's
models.
right.
Like Andrea Riseborough was there,
Yeah.
Belle Powley. Uh,
Oh, I don't know how to say her name.
I know she's new, she's young. I don't know how to pronounce her
Yeah.
name. Fiona Shaw, some other great English actors, I think, were
Yeah.
walking for her, which was very cool.
Who did Florence Pugh walk for again? I forget.
She kind of like introduced the Harris Reed show. I
Oh, okay. Okay.
fucking love Harris Reed.
Yeah.
I loved those structural shoulders on her gown. She looked kind of like a cross between Dune and like Maleficent. I was really into it.
Yeah. Yeah.
And she was
No, that.
speaking. She was like saying like I don't know what it was, a poem or a monologue or something about like you have to be yourself, which is so cute.
Yeah, that
Cool.
is cute. Yeah, I like Florence Pugh. I think she's fun. Um,
Yeah.
was there more than one designer that also presented tutus?
Oh,
Or
yeah. There
yeah,
was like, yeah, there were definitely a lot of like tulle skirt moments.
yeah, and like literal ballet tutus, I thought as
Like
well.
long, like romantic
No,
style tutus
no,
or
like
like
straight out.
Like tutus.
legit tutus. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay.
Simone Rocha had one, and I think other people did too, but I forget.
I'm into it
Yeah.
because they go with the
Forward.
ballet style, like the point shoe style shoe.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's
I'm looking
true.
forward to hearing people report back about a nice stiff tutu because it's very hard to get close to anyone or hug or like you're very isolated in a
Maybe
tutu, I
that's a
feel like.
choice.
Yeah, I wonder what that's saying about us. Like the bubble hems, again, kind of more volume, keeping away from others. Is something happening? I don't know.
I think that's
Maybe.
what's happening. I think that like at a feminist moment right now, we're keeping people out of our personal space with our
Yeah,
fashion. I'm
yeah,
pro.
yeah. Super feminine, but also like keeping a safe bubble around ourselves, so to speak. Yeah,
Absolutely. Yeah, I
yeah.
feel like we
Yeah.
saw that too in a lot of like shoes where like the shoes had like very, very pointy toes. Alexander McQueen shoes have like the very long toes, or they have like the flappies on the sides of the shoes. That will also
Yeah.
keep you from standing too close to someone.
Interesting. England is like, see, they're interesting because it's always like, look, this is going to look really pretty, but it's also going to be tricky to get close to anyone. So they,
Yes.
The British do have a way of kind of having a punchline if you don't expect it. So
They
yeah,
They
absolutely do.
do.
And they're
yeah,
They do.
practical.
yes, yes.
Absolutely the most practical of the English speaking countries. They
Hmm.
really
They
Yeah,
are.
they
They
wear
they
raincoats
are.
when you need them, and they don't object. Like, why do I feel
Yeah,
like?
they'll wear a waxed coat and yeah, not think twice. I mean, keeps you dry, so
I kind of feel
make it
like,
fashion.
when I don't know if this is true for you, but when I went to college, girls would go out like in the dead of winter with no coat and like
hmm
wearing like tube tops and mini skirts. I feel like that
Yeah.
doesn't happen in England. They'll be like, "No, I'm gonna wear a fucking coat and I'll
Really?
take it off." No, I just feel like that's the
Well,
vibe I get.
as a person who went to college
Oh, that's
in both
right.
England and America, I will tell
Yeah.
you that you can go a lot of places in England out at night and they have a coat check. Not true in America.
Ah, okay,
That's
okay.
true.
So if
In the
Yeah.
you
US,
don't want your coat to get beer spilled on it and get lost and get stolen
Yeah.
when you're at the club, you just
Yeah.
don't wear one.
Yeah, and where I went to school, it was mostly frat parties, honestly, because it was a little isolated. So there's no coat
Yeah.
check at a frat party, and
No.
if there is, ask questions because I don't trust that. I
I
don't
don't
know what they're
know
doing.
if they have, I don't know what the frat situation is in England.
Oh, I
do
don't
they
think
have Greek life there?
I doubt it, right?
I think they have a lot of Greek people in England.
If you're in college and you don't want to wear a coat, by all means, like live your life. But one night you're just gonna be like, I think I need a coat, and
And that's how
you're
you know
just
you've
gonna.
arrived at adulthood.
Yeah, you're gonna be
That's what
like, you know
maturity
what?
is.
I don't care as much about wearing this little dress as I do about being warm. And then you will say, aha, and the
And you'll
men
say,
around
I can
you.
have both. I can wear the little dress and I can put a warm coat on
Yeah.
and just
And
put it on my chair or something.
but
I
do
don't know.
understand that most men's brains do not mature until 40, so you will be ahead of them. And they might be
I
like,
thought
what are
you
you
were gonna
doing?
say like 25.
No, it's like
40 is late.
new studies are telling us it could be in their 40s. Yeah.
Oh no.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yikes.
Because
Oh.
that makes a lot of sense though. Like a lot of people like calm down, at least lately. Like a lot of men calm down in like their 40s before
I feel
they
like it's
didn't.
because they have to, though, because
Yeah.
at that point their like physical bodies are in decline and they just can't like
Maybe that's
they
all it
can't
is.
hang.
Their brains have been developed, but their bodies are like, no, we can't do
Yeah,
this.
they can't like abuse. Yeah, they can't like drink that much
I will
and
say, I
not
know
having.
Not
many,
have a
many men.
Tempur-Pedic pillow. Like,
Yeah,
Yeah, yeah,
I
yeah.
do know many men, both in New York and LA, who have said to me, "Oh yeah, when I'm 40, I'm going to leave the city and have a kid and get married." But it's a little bit like of male privilege too, because then if
oh
like,
yeah,
yeah, that's totally male privilege. Because then
It's
women have
also
to
a
think,
coastal thing, like New York,
yeah,
California. Like if
yeah,
you're,
that's true.
yeah. If I went to like the middle of the country right now, everyone would be married at my age. Even back home,
yeah,
like probably most people at my age are married. But it's just yeah, it's just interesting. Like, but I guess that's my psychologist friend told me that there's new studies showing that men's brains don't mature until their
that is
40s.
Oh
certainly
my
not
God. And then they have like
encouraging.
20 years to enjoy
Yeah.
it because men die so early.
Yeah. I think we have 20 years to enjoy it, I would say.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Yeah,
great
are they
point.
They've
enjoying
been
it? I
having
don't
fun the
know.
whole time, I think. Yeah.
That's
But just
true.
know, those college, the men might be like, "Oh, I liked you without the coat," and you can say, "I don't care," and wear your toes.
Yes.
Okay, that's all
You
I'm
can say, well,
No.
saying.
then there's
Yeah.
a lid for every pot, and like, you're not my lid,
Yeah.
I
I
guess.
feel like
So,
we maybe have blocked this out, but I am sure that in college when we were walking around in the dead of winter, we all are from the Northeast, like without a coat on in our ridiculous shoes. I am sure that men were like, "Aren't you cold?"
Oh,
yes,
totally.
I
Yeah.
100%. Like, I'd be
No.
standing in line, like, waiting to get in the club, and like, guys would be like, "Aren't you cold? Aren't you cold?" to like me and my friends. And we'd be like, "Yeah, dumbass, of course we're cold. Like,
What were we
duh.
doing? Like
That's not the point."
But I gotta
our
say,
fortitude was not impressing them. Like we
yeah,
couldn't
yeah,
I
they
win.
didn't
know.
care. That's the thing is they did not
Like,
care.
aren't you impressed? Aren't
Yeah.
you impressed?
Yeah.
Don't you
Good
like
for
my
you.
top?
I'm gonna get
No?
pneumonia.
Okay.
Yeah. You know, it's funny, guys. I don't have a strong memory of walking in the cold in a little dress and heels. I
No,
don't think
you
I
know
did that.
why? Because our brains are wired to block out trauma.
Stephanie, I have this distinct memory of you being at college with me and Melanie, my friend Melanie, who I'm still friends with. And I put on this outfit that was a two top and a skirt and heels. And it was like not something I did normally. And both Stephanie and Melanie were like, "You look kind of like I know this is not the right word, but they're like, it looks kind of like you're a hooker." Like at the time, it was fine. It was kind of
I
like
vaguely, I do
a
remember that,
streetwalker. Yeah,
like,
you're both like, I don't know what the combination is, but the combination is just like
it
off.
was
It
just
Yeah.
was
like
giving,
off. Like, it wasn't like, oh, you look like a hooker because you're
Yeah.
wearing like a quote
No, the
unquote cute
combination just
outfit.
didn't
It was
work.
just like if I
Because
put
I
on
had no like
look,
things. Yeah.
certain leopard prints on me make me look like an extreme hooker, and like it also
It's sex
ages
worker.
me.
It's guys. Well, let's say sex worker first of all.
Sorry, sorry, sex worker.
please,
But
in this the year of
like
Honora, we must
Yeah,
say.
that's true. Yeah.
no, I mean my point is just that like it's amazing how like an outfit or a print can just like change your vibe.
No, and I remember
Like,
thinking I finally figured out how to have my cool alt wardrobe in a cute way, and I had this American Apparel tribal print red skirt and a green tube top that was my
I
mom's.
remember that
And
skirt.
I was like, I figured it out, guys. I know how to look cute now, like and not feel like I'm like I felt like I was alt and whatever. And then I put it on, and both of you were like, "No, you look like you're
Oh, that's
streetwalking
what
right
the
now."
It's giving
Yeah,
sex worker.
yeah, yeah,
Oh my God.
yeah.
I'm sure you
So
looked great though.
It
it's
sounds
fine.
cute. I like that color combination.
Yeah, it
Yeah.
was fine.
But I felt like, when you like vibe with someone and like you want to say something and the other person wants to say the same thing, but you don't
Yeah,
have
you
that
both did
moment to
that.
talk.
Yeah.
I was like, I feel like Melanie gets it.
Yeah, yeah. You both were like, and then it was so funny because I used to also not have a purse. I had this little wallet thing I
Oh
carried
my
around.
God, I hated that thing,
And
and
both
she
of you
hated that
said
too.
that. Both of you were
Well,
like, I hate that thing.
it wasn't even a wallet, Gretchen. It was a coin purse that you
It
got when
held
you were like
everything.
working at Urban Outfitters. Okay,
It
no,
held
it did
everything.
not. It did not. You would have to like stuff like your cards and your phone and like your wallet and your keys, and it would be like this like thing,
It
like
was like a
this
little
big.
blue patent
And
leather
you
thing.
and
Yeah.
she refused to like she was like, I don't like purses. And she refused to do anything like that was like a crossbody or like remotely cute. She would just like hold it in her hand and then she'd always be like, where the fuck is my wallet? Like she like she'd always lose it. And
Both you
it
and
was
Melly were like,
just
I
like
hate that thing.
I I did. And like to this day, every time I see you with like a legit purse, like my heart just like
Yeah.
softens a little because I'm like, thank God she
Well, you
wears
can
it.
thank my
She uses a purse now.
you can thank my friend Connie for that because in college she's Brazilian in college. She's like, just get a crossbody. You can dance with it still. And I'm like, oh, good
Yes,
idea.
exactly.
Yeah.
Crossbodies are
Yeah.
where it's
And
at.
so then I got a crossbody and I don't think I went back. So anyways, enough of my
You can
fashion
still
college
dance.
history.
Yeah, you can dance with it. That's what makes them
Yeah,
so
I
great.
know. She's
Brazilian
like,
people are amazing. They're so
yeah,
practical. They're like
yeah,
anything you have to do to be able to dance freely,
yes, yes,
that's what
Yes.
fashion
yeah,
is. And they're
Practical
so
but
yeah,
right.
fun.
yeah.
Yeah.
And she was right.
Yes.
And I was like, oh, and now I can dance without worrying about my stupid wallet.
On the subject, though, of London Fashion Week, I feel like we have to take our listeners back to I Told You So corner because
Mhm.
there have been so many articles since, the first of the year. And I think a lot of it is concern trolling, but it seems like more than the average, like, you know, Q1 market contraction is going on in luxury fashion specifically. And
Mm.
we talked about this
Yes.
previously with like with the quality of like luxury brands having gone down recently, and we've all
Oh,
noticed that like in the
awful.
retail space.
Yeah.
And this is like hitting the fashion weeks too. So London Fashion Week, actually, there were a few designers that opted out of having shows because of the expense, and they hosted these like intimate dinners instead to
Oh, wow.
kind of like to save money, but also to have like a more intimate show experience. What do we think about this?
So, like, the exclusivity might be part of the marketing, um,
I think so.
strategy. Yeah.
Do we think that this is going to work?
I don't
I
love
feel
it.
like it could. It could. I also read that, so-called quiet luxury is on its way out, and
Yes,
now,
it is true.
Yes,
blatant luxury is back in. So,
absolutely. I'm here for it.
maybe I know, maybe, yeah, maybe, like, coupled with that, it'll be, like, a good marketing win. I don't know.
Yeah,
I
I
don't
feel like the
know.
point of the big shows is to have like as many eyes on the line as possible, but also in the age of like the internet and social media, like maybe they're right. Maybe you cut your costs having the big show with all the production and everyone gets to see it anyway because it's on the internet.
Yeah. And then, like, the coverage is like, "Oh, there was this exclusive dinner and blah, blah, blah," and, yeah, maybe that drives the mystique of a brand. I don't know.
Yeah, I guess. I just feel like, do we really need to strip real experiences from everything? I don't know. I
Are
mean,
you saying
making
dinner is not a real
no, but like
experience,
it
or
becomes a more exclusive
I'm
thing
just
where
kidding.
people can't get in, you know? Um,
right. I do
yeah,
feel like it's a little gatekeepy in that
yeah,
way,
yeah.
although they did like, the designers who chose to do this had like a big spiel about like, well, it's a very experiential way to show off the designs, but also they were able to include like other experiences. But I think you're right, Gretchen. It's like for the elite of the elite. Like if you're at
Yeah,
London Fashion Week,
Yeah.
you're
yeah,
already pretty elite, and this is
yeah.
cutting down the guest list to just like the very smallest of inner circles of people who are going to be able to
Yes.
experience these things. So
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I was gonna say, like,
Yeah.
it's not as though this was something for the masses anyways, but it feels a little bit like, I don't know. I mean, I understand that it's so much cheaper and easier just to promote things online, and I get it. But where is the money going then if it's not going to the quality of the clothing? You know, it's just like, I don't know. It's just,
Yeah.
yeah.
I think that the luxury brands are in trouble is kind of what
Mm,
I'm getting
mm, okay.
from everywhere from, this I don't have like specific sources to cite, but the vibes are that
The vibes are off.
the vibes are
The vibes
bad
are off.
for
Yeah.
luxury fashion retail.
Well,
Yeah.
my thought when you mentioned the dinners was like it just feels a little defeatist or
Mm-hmm.
something. Like I'm using that word because I was just watching Schitt's Creek where Moira uses that in reference to David's soft opening of his shop. But
Yeah.
I feel like kind of that way about the idea of these dinners. Like, it's not like a grand celebration or like, this spectacle that we were talking about that's like, a literal show or like has some theatrics to it. It's like, well, we're gonna just have a dinner now. Like, I don't know. Yeah, feels a little sad in a way. Like, just not doesn't sound fun.
You're right. It does. It feels more like austerity than it does like sustainability.
Yeah. Yeah, it sounds like something that would have happened. Well, I don't even want to say during World War II because I just think of the Blitz and we're talking about London, but like it just sounds like,
This could be, I didn't look
yeah.
into whether these were mostly English designers who were doing this. I assume that they were.
Oh,
Yeah, that's true.
yeah.
It could have been different things. But I will say, um, there was one instance in New York where they did this with Ekaslata, and it felt very celebratory and fun. It was more like a group of friends getting together, it felt like. And that, when I saw that, I was like, oh yeah, it makes sense that they invite everyone that has supported them. And like, I know that one of the brothers of the fashion designer went to college with me, so like I saw on his Instagram, like he was there and like with like some of his friends and stuff. And so it was kind of just like a big celebratory dinner where they had like their friends walking a runway, and it felt
Maybe I'm wrong then.
no, no, no. That was like the one instance where I was like, oh, that makes a like I like that,
But it
but
still
I don't
seems
think
Yeah.
exclusive.
yes, yes, for sure. It doesn't that doesn't like, and there weren't many others like that. That were more just like a fun party. It was, and of course, there's still exclusivity there. It's not just anyone can show up. So,
Yeah. So I don't
mm,
know. I don't know how I feel about it. The coverage was not like, it was kind of neither here nor there. They were just talking about it as kind of like a way that some people were cutting costs in a time that,
mm,
I think the economics of the world are pretty crazy right now, and people are
Yeah.
people are trying to do what they can to cut down on costs. I mean, it is an absolute exorbitance that there are so many fashion weeks throughout the entire world, and
yeah,
but
yeah,
also like this is
Yeah.
the way that a lot of like really amazing artists and technicians and people who are not fashion designers make money too. So
yeah, yeah. I mean, set
True.
designers and
Yeah.
people making the stages and
There's a whole
everything.
industry.
Yeah, for
Yeah.
sure.
I
About
think
it.
also
Yeah.
like the coverage of such an exclusive event can be so curated, and so like I don't know if there are like journalists actually involved, or if all of the I don't remember if all the stuff that I have seen has been like from the brand itself.
Mm.
But my thought is that yeah, there's been a little bit of trouble in the economics of fashion
Yeah,
recently.
yeah.
Yeah.
No,
A little bit of trouble
Yeah.
in the
definitely.
economics in general recently.
Well, yeah, and I
Yeah.
think, but there are those interesting trends that happen when the economy goes down, like high heels get higher, right? And people buy more lipstick, and so
Yes,
it'll
and
be interesting.
skirts
Hmm.
get shorter
Yeah,
and
yeah. Hmm. Yeah, I guess people buy more lipstick because it's a small enough luxury that people can afford.
That
That's the
makes
theory.
sense.
Yeah. And
That
it,
makes sense. And
yeah.
I love that people are still treating themselves,
Hmm.
right?
Yeah.
Like,
yeah.
I mean, I'm the worst. I'm like, when little treats became a thing, I was like, I thought we always did this. If
He's
you
like, I
ever
already
want
have a
someone to
bunch of
talk,
little treats. Yeah.
like at the rate I treat myself, like it's not really a treat anymore, but
It's true Sofalite behavior.
Yes, very much so.
Right, right, right. Ask me about my wedding debt, but we'll talk about that later.
You did have a lot of little treats at your wedding that you like pulled out that I didn't know about because I did help her a lot with her wedding,
Like
and then
what,
like
what?
you pulled out some interesting jewelry, and then like something blue you already had when I was like, you don't have anything blue, and then you're like, oh yeah, I do, and you had
Did
something.
I?
Well, we definitely Rachel and Mara definitely got
Rachel
you a
and
very
Mara got me
nice.
the blue
Yeah,
Yes,
because
we got
I
you
crystal.
the
told them.
crystal.
No, I thought you had something else. Maybe I'm remembering wrong. And no, I think it was like you had those shoes that you'd bought, or like you bought each other or something. And I was like,
Oh
oh,
yeah,
they really
we
like
at the
went out.
Gucci
And
store in Zurich. That was like our first wedding purchase. We bought each other like
Aww.
Gucci shoes, and then we realized the ones that I bought for Pratik didn't they weren't like for tuxes, they were just like loafers, and I didn't really think about that till later. And then my friend Tim was like, "No, with a tux you have to wear like patent leather, or like the traditional thing is like a velvet slipper." And I'm like, God damn
Oh.
it. So
what?
then like
Oh,
2 weeks before our wedding, we were at Gucci again buying the right shoes for the tux. But
you went to Gucci twice.
I'm here to
Yeah.
tell you that you can never have too many pairs of Gucci shoes.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
write it
Yeah.
off on those joint
Write it
returns.
off. Wedding
Don't think
expense.
about it anymore.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah. When I wonder where last year's tax return went to, I'm reminded of these moments, and I'm like,
Dang, that was a big tax return then. Shit.
no, I, I know.
3 pairs
That's,
of Gucci shoes later.
Yeah, yeah.
I know. It's probably my biggest one ever, and it was gone like immediately. So there was that. But easy come, easy go. What can I say?
Really quickly, we can hop over to the awards race
Yes.
situation.
Yes.
We are a week out from the Oscars.
Yep.
Um, as we are recording this, the Screen Actors Guild Awards are going on in real time.
Hmm.
I was able to watch a little bit of the red carpet before we started. I really liked Mikey Madison's dress.
I did too.
She
Yeah.
looks amazing. I don't,
Yeah.
if I was gonna soothsay and guess about who's gonna win, like I feel like we, without knowing, should say like congratulations to Honora, uh,
Yeah.
because they have done an amazing job just like winning all of the Guild Awards. The Independent Spirit Awards actually were yesterday. Honora took Best Picture, Best Director, and Lead Performance. I guess the Independent Spirit Awards have like a non-gendered performer category. They just have lead performance and supporting performance, which
Okay.
I think is
Yeah,
really,
it is interesting. I like that about it.
yeah. And,
Oh,
so Mikey Madison, I believe, took lead performer, which was
yeah,
awesome.
yeah.
Um,
That's great.
and then A Real Pain won for best screenplay, and supporting performance went to Kieran Culkin, who I
Yes.
believe also just tonight was awarded for supporting actor by the Screen Actors Guild, which is adorable. He had
Yeah.
kind of a rambling, maybe like too many cocktails in acceptance speech that was just, was, it was nice. He seems nice.
Yeah, he's
Yeah.
like I like that he's having I don't know if it's a moment. I feel like his career is having like a nice
Little high
Yeah.
point. Yeah.
No, I think that
nice
between Succession and this, he is having a moment.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's great. It's
Um,
great. Way to go, Kieran Culkin. I also love that name, Kieran. Unrelated, but yeah.
Absolutely. Yeah, no, he's great. He also Nickel Boys won an American Spirit, or sorry, an American
Yes.
Spirit. I keep saying American Spirit. that would be the award that would be given to David Lynch, is who would get the American
Or
Spirit Award.
independent. You mean independent spirit?
I
What is
do.
I
I
when you
do
said
mean the
American spirit, I
independent.
was like, that's a thing. That's a thing. And then I'm like, oh yeah, like cigarettes.
No, so the Independent Spirit Award for
Okay.
cinematography went to Nickel Boys, which I think is fitting. Everyone who was like very out about running for the Oscars was obviously there. Demi Moore was very much there.
Yes, with her little dog.
With her little
Yeah.
dog.
Yeah.
Coleman
Oh,
Domingo was there. He
I
looked
missed her dog.
amazing.
Yes, he did. Yes.
Everybody has been doing like such interesting, I feel like, suiting, and a lot of it has been like kind of in the silver and gray vein. A lot of the ones that
I
I've really
noticed that.
loved.
Mm-hmm.
I noticed
Yeah.
that. I like that a lot. Like Jeffrey Goldblum's.
Jeffrey.
What's his name? That's his
Jeffrey.
name.
I
Jeff.
guess
What?
so. Maybe only his
I
mother
guess.
calls him Jeffrey.
Jeff Gold.
His mother was like, Jeffrey.
Anyway, yeah, he had a nice silver suit on tonight, didn't he? Yeah.
Yeah. Also, who? Andrew Scott was wearing like a
Yeah.
Yes,
gray
I saw that.
Alexander
Yeah.
McQueen with the big shoulders, and he looked fantastic.
Yeah.
Yeah, Cynthia Erivo in silver, looking very amazing. She's got kind of like a fringe collar thing that's happening, and then a silver gown, which looks awesome. Ariana Grande, just, in the classic Glinda pink. She's seeing it through till the end, and I really respect it.
I
Cynthia
agree.
Erivo, like going back to her, she's just such a pro at, I mean, dressing herself. I mean, I guess she's only 5'2". She's
Oh, wow.
pretty like short, but and I say that as someone who's 5'2", but like, um, she's really adept at like, picking things that are like lengthening for her, and not that being short is like a bad thing. I think she's just like a master of like illusion in a good way. Like she really knows how to flatter her shape and everything, and
I
yeah,
mean, she has an
I just think
incredible
it's great.
figure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She looks great in clothes. She has an amazing stylist. I
Yeah, she
mean,
does.
every single thing that she has worn all year long has been amazing. This silver
Yeah.
dress included.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I
She's great.
yeah, I agree. And I I was like a little bit disappointed by the fashion in general. I can't like get the vibe of the Independent Spirit Awards. If it feels like day but night. It was hard for me to
It's
tell.
all over the
Yeah,
place.
yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, like a lot of people were wearing suits and they were wearing gowns, and then Hunter Schafer looked incredible in just kind
Yeah.
of like a sundress, and like,
Yeah. And
she
then
very
none
much
of
pulled it
that.
off, but like it
Yeah.
was, yeah, I don't know what the vibe of that award. I think
Yeah.
the vibe is independence from a dress
There
code.
you
All
go.
right.
Yeah. They're like, we're
Fair
gonna take it
enough.
all the way. Yeah. But no, it was cool. There was some good looks. I didn't think that Maggie Madison looked as good as she had lately. She wasn't quite as glowing in this dress as she
Yeah,
has had lately.
no, I think
Yeah.
the SAG dress flatters her a lot
Mm-hmm.
more.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And the way
And
that she's styled, I think it's a little bit more of like a formal event at the
mm-hmm.
Screen Actors Guild, and maybe the Independent Spirit Award is like a little bit like casual for
Yeah, a little
an
bit
award
looser.
show.
But yeah, no, it looked like a fun time.
Selena Gomez has always looked amazing.
She does always look amazing. She has been rocking
Yeah.
just like every single black gown this season, and I love it.
Yeah. There's something to be said for a really elegant black gown, I think.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Yeah.
she's absolutely
Underrated.
nailing it.
Yeah. And I did like Emma Stone's dress. It was a little weird. And again, I could not pin down what day night thing was happening there, but I liked it. I
Which
thought it was
dress
good.
was this? Is
Oh,
this the
from the
popcorn
Independent Spirit
From the
dress?
Award.
Independent Spirit Awards dress. It was like a mini dress. Yeah, rain, I want to say. Could be wrong. Um, but I thought it was pretty cute. Coleman Domingo, I thought looked amazing as
He,
usual.
yeah,
Yeah,
he looked
yeah,
amazing.
yeah. And then, yeah, but So I think if the awards are gonna if those awards tell us anything else, it's that Honora is gonna sweep. So we'll see.
I am like really pleasantly surprised at how well Honora has been doing at all the Guild Awards. So, is there anything? Well, so the next time that we meet, we probably will be discussing the Oscars. So, as we are gonna have to wrap it up here, let's just say on spec, congratulations to Honora, and
And
we'll see everybody next
yeah,
week.
everybody.
As
Yeah.
always, we have been Rachel, Stephanie, and Gretchen. Thank you for listening to New York Sofalites. Get in touch with us at nysofalites on Instagram and email us at nysofalites@gmail.com.
Yay. And yeah.
Yay.
All right, we'll get off our sofas for cool things this week.
Yes.
We'll just say
Woo!
that. Yeah.
February's almost over. That's
Yay.
motivation.
All right, see ya.
All right.
Yeah.
See ya.